It started with a casual text, the kind that should have meant nothing. "I'll be away for a week," my wife wrote. "Going on a short vacation with my work husband. Don't worry, it's harmless." Work husband, that phrase alone made my jaw tighten. I had heard her joke about it before, how she and a male coworker were so close that the office teased them about being a couple. I had laughed it off at first, trusting her, thinking it was just silly workplace banter. But as time passed, the joke grew darker. The late-night calls, the inside jokes I wasn't allowed to hear, the way she lit up when he texted her but rolled, her eyes when I spoke. And now, she had the audacity to announce she was vacationing with him, as if I was supposed to shrug and say, "Sure, have fun." That was the moment something inside me snapped. I didn't yell, I didn't argue. I simply replied, "That's perfect, I've been meaning to work on some paperwork anyway." She had no idea what I meant, but those papers were divorce papers, and I had already begun preparing them weeks before. For months, I had felt the shift in her. She became cold at home, disinterested in anything we did together. Whenever I reached for her hand, she pulled away. Whenever I asked about her day, she gave me one-word answers, saving her real conversations for her so-called work husband. She thought I was blind. She thought I was too soft, too loyal, too dependent to ever walk away. But she had underestimated me completely. The night before her trip, she packed her bags with a smile on her face, humming a song like a teenager getting ready for prom. She didn't even try to hide her excitement. "Don't wait up," she joked. "I'll text you if I get good Wi-Fi." She actually believed she was untouchable, that I would sit home like a loyal pet while she ran off with another man. I kissed her on the cheek, smiled, and wished her safe travels. Inside, I was already done with her. As soon as the door closed behind her, I went into action. I gathered every piece of evidence I had collected, the late-night texts, the photos she posted on private stories that she didn't know I had access to, the receipts of dinners she had charged on our joint account with suspicious business meetings attached. I handed everything to my lawyer. He didn't even raise an eyebrow. He'd seen this story play out 100 times before. "You're in a strong position," he said. "She's made your case for you." During that week, while she was posting beach photos with careful angles that hid the man sitting beside her, I was dismantling her life. Bank accounts were split. Assets were secured. Her name was removed from anything she could exploit. By the time she came back from her little romantic getaway, her entire world had shifted, and she didn't even know it yet. The day she returned, sunburned and glowing, she strolled into the house with a fake innocence in her voice. "Did you miss me?" she asked. I handed her the envelope without a word. Inside, the divorce papers, the evidence, and a note that read, "I hope your work husband can pay the bills now." Her face drained of color. She tried to laugh, to call it an overreaction, to say I was being dramatic. "It wasn't like that," she insisted. "It was just a trip between friends." But I had the photos, the receipts, the proof. Her lies fell apart faster than she could spin them. When she realized I was serious, the begging began. Tears, promises, swearing she would cut him off, insisting it didn't mean anything. But by then, I wasn't angry anymore. I was calm, because the moment she stepped on that plane with him, our marriage ended. The papers were just the formal confirmation. Court was swift and brutal. The judge reviewed the evidence and sided with me at every turn. She walked away with almost nothing, stripped of the comfort she had grown used to, forced to face the reality that her fantasy fling had real consequences. And as for her work husband, he didn't stick around long. He enjoyed the stolen moments, the secret thrill, but once she was free, once she expected more, he vanished. Months later, I heard through mutual friends that she was living in a cramped apartment, working extra hours just to stay afloat. Her so-called work husband had already moved on to another coworker, leaving her behind like a bad memory. The independence she craved, the excitement she thought she found, it all crumbled into loneliness and regret. Meanwhile, I thrived. The peace of a quiet home, the freedom to live without suspicion, the clarity of knowing I had walked away from Someone who didn't value me, it was priceless. My revenge wasn't in shouting or fighting. It was in letting her taste the life she chose, the life she thought would be better, and watching it turn to ash in her hands. So yes, she went on vacation with her work husband. But the only trip she really took was straight out of my life. And that was perfect, not just for divorce, but for my freedom.